here we go now.
Touchdown, Cooper. That was DeMarcus Lawrence.
They can't stop us. Keep hitting him in the mouth. Keep hitting him in the mouth. They can't stop us.
Keeps his feet to the 10. Touchdown, Elliott. Gallup leaping. Touchdown.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T. GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
A season low in points, total yardage, first downs, and a whole lot more for the Dallas Cowboys as they fall 25-3 on the road on the East Coast to the Washington football team. A game that Cowboys fans would like to forget, but none are going to forget anytime soon. Welcome in to Cowboys Game Night at the Star in Frisco. Kyle Youmans alongside the great six-time Pro Bowler, Mr. Nate Newton. And Nate, it was disappointing to say the least. The Cowboys fall to 2-5, and they drop this NFC East battle that going into it, on paper at least, it looked like you had a chance for a win. Well, that was not the case.
No, it wasn't. Our offensive line today, I knew that they were going to be outmatched, but they really got outplayed. I thought they could kind of compensate that with good technique, but those 5 first-round picks took advantage of us. And once again, our defense in the middle was kind of soft and not doing what it needed to do and put a lot of stress on our linebackers to make plays.
Yeah, the Cowboys on both sides of the trenches, offensively and defensively, really struggled, and it was a disappointment for all Cowboys fans, but especially for head coach Mike McCarthy. Here's what he had to say following the loss.
Mike, is there a sense of frustration, or how do you find a sense of frustration and hopelessness when all of these games seem to unfold the exact same way after the points you continually stress?
I would say frustration, clearly, no doubt about it. I wouldn't say hopeless because that wouldn't reflect the men in the locker room. But frankly, talked to them at halftime about the here we go again mode on the sidelines, and we got to move past that. That's part of making progress throughout the season. We need to learn from our mistakes. We can't keep letting our mistakes holding us down and holding us back, because we obviously have made similar mistakes in different forms and fashions. But until we get the only one that's going to pull us out of the hole is us as a football team. So we got to be able to keep playing, playing to win, playing not to make a mistake. I felt like I saw some of that today. I'll obviously take a hard look at the video. It's part of the evaluation, but we're not cutting it loose. We look like we're holding back at certain points. So we got to execute better, obviously. And that's not. We knew that we needed to play the game a certain way today, and we did not get that done.
Just quickly on Dalton, how is he doing? And when he traveled home with the team, and that was just a nasty hit.
I have not been able to visit with the training staff yet on exactly Andy's situation. I saw Andy briefly in the equipment room. He's up and dressed, so I really don't have any update for you.
After the play, it seemed like it was a clearly dirty hit, and none of your players reacted in an angry fashion to take up for Andy. I know no one condones violence, but shouldn't someone have gotten Boston's face?
Yeah, it was definitely a hit that caused a disqualification. But yeah, we speak all the time about playing for one another, protecting one another. So yeah, definitely it was probably not the response that you would expect.
A visibly frustrated Mike McCarthy and another quarterback going down, Nate.
Yes, and that hit he took was ugly, and I thought it's negative energy and it's positive energy. Right there, that was negative energy for that team, but they should have responded in a positive way. They should have rallied around that.
Yeah, they didn't really do that, at least in the back half of that football game. When we come back here on Cowboys Game Night, we'll hear from Ben DiNucci as he made his debut following the injury.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. The Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket from the Texas Lottery is your ticket for a chance to win up to $100,000. Get your Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. Must be 18 or older to purchase a ticket. Play responsibly.
7th-round quarterback Ben DiNucci made his NFL debut following the injury to Andy Dalton. Here's what he had to say out in Washington following the 25-3 loss.
Ben, can you just start by just how it unfolded, you going in there, and just your thoughts and emotions of going in for the first time, and the play that happened that put you in the game?
Yeah, I think you guys saw it. Andy went for a scramble there on 3rd down, and was in the process of sliding, and I think it was their middle linebacker went in and took a shot late as he was going down. So very unfortunate that had to happen for me to get in the game, but no time for me to get nervous or any of that. Put my helmet on and started warming up, and my job if I'm in there is to do the same thing that Andy or Dak or whoever else is in there. So no time to waste. Just had to try to pick up where they left off.
You start with those first 2 plays. So again, the pitch on the backfield, and then finding Cooper down on the second one. Your start there.
Yeah, first one was a bad pitch by me. Ball's a little wet. Not going to stand up here and make excuses, but yeah, first one pitch was a little bad, and the one I hit to Coop there on the sideline. They were playing cover 2, and just kind of hit a whole shot in there to him. So, heck of a play by him. Got it started with a big gain, and that was good momentum for us. It was unfortunate that we weren't able to put points on board the rest of the day.
You got a series of work, I believe, in the Arizona game. You didn't have any preseason stuff. What have you noticed here about the speed of the game here in your first 2 times you've been on the field?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is guys are just bigger than what I'm used to. Coming from James Madison and FCS school, you don't see guys like Chase Young every day. But the bottom line is football, and it's the same game that I've been playing since I've been in 7th grade. So I couldn't do anything else except go out there with a smile, and I got in the huddle and said, let's go, let's have some fun. We got nothing to lose. It's raining. There's no one in the stands. Let's try to create our own energy here and try to find some positives from this day and go put points on the board.
I think that's a good way to sum it up from Ben DiNucci there is you don't see guys like that at JMU. Well, he had a chance to see it on that defensive line, 1st-round picks coming at him from every direction. And much like Andy Dalton, Nate, Ben DiNucci just didn't have a whole lot of time to work.
Those 5 first-round picks with Payne and Sweat and Chase and even the elderly statesman and Ryan Kerrigan, they came to play. And they each took their turns making plays. I think they wound up with 6 sacks, a bunch of hurries, a bunch of quarterback hits. Right there you see a strip sack by Landon Collins. And they just played well as a team. And they came at our young offensive line and took advantage of it.
Well, they also held Dallas to 2.5 yards per attempt, which is just unheard of from an offense that has so many weapons, but really at the same time, you can't really put this on the quarterbacks. It's got to start up front.
Yeah, I mean, our guys, they wasn't playing well together, and individually they got matched up sometimes and was overwhelmed. And then when they did make a connection and held ground, our receivers didn't catch the ball.
Yeah, they didn't catch the ball, and they were under pressure throughout. Here's a look at some of the offensive stats, and there you see it. 1st downs, 12. 3 of 12 on 3rd downs. That one hurts a little bit, as well as the fact that you didn't get into triple digits in either rushing yards or passing yards in the 25-3 loss. We did see a sack from Everson Griffin. We'll hear from him and on how the defense played when we come back with more Cowboys Game Night after this.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. The Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket from the Texas Lottery is your ticket for a chance to win up to $100,000. Get your Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. Must be 18 or older to purchase a ticket. Play responsibly. This segment is brought to you by GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Rolling along here on Cowboys OT. Let's hear from Everson Griffin. He had a sack today, but the defense still continued to struggle at slowing down that Washington run.
Hey, Everson, can you just start by talking about what you felt the main issues were with the run defense today and what they were able to do?
I think at the end of the day, I think it's up to the Dallas Cowboys and the players, like the players on the Dallas Cowboys, to be able to go out there and execute our assignments. It never has to do with the other team. I feel like we have to go out there and play better, and that's it. And that's the end of it. We just have to play better run defense.
Everson, is there a here we go again thing that happens with this team during these games?
No, not really. We just got to be able to start fast and finish fast. It is a little draining, but at the end of the day, we're professionals and we got to be able to bounce back and go out there and attack and do our job. And I feel like we're not doing that right now. And I feel like we got to go back to the drawing board and we got to go out there and play better defense, be gap sound, and fight to the very end.
Everson, can you talk about the morale on your defense? Specifically, when you get down like that, do you feel like the morale just sort of goes down and it's hard to come back from that?
No, our morale is great. We just got to keep on fighting.
Is that difficult to do when each game kind of unfolds the same way, or how do you have to approach that mentally to make sure frustration doesn't set in?
I think we're professionals, and the part of being a professional is handling adversity during the game. There's going to be situations during the game that's going to arise, and it's up to us as players to go out there and execute our assignment. When we're down, when we're up, when we lose, it doesn't matter. I feel like as professionals, we got to keep on going out there and just keep on working our craft and get better each and every rep.
Washington entered the game with just over 80 yards per game on the ground. They finished with 208 total, 397 on offense as a whole. So you look at it from a Cowboys perspective today, they only allowed 3 points in the second half, but overall, Nate, they still struggled to slow them down.
We have no lane integrity, which the young man talked about. He says that there's no adversity. Yes, it is. Every game we see the repeated where guys run up the middle of our defense, and that allows, if you can run the ball and you can throw the ball, now you cannot dictate to the defense, dictate to the offense what's going to be done. They're dictating to us. So that keeps our defensive backs, our extra safety up close to the line, and that puts a little pressure on our defensive backs. And McLaurin took advantage of that situation a couple of times. So we have to stop the run, make sure we're in our lane so our linebackers can get downhill and take care of this situation. Every team that we've played, up besides the Cleveland Browns, have been a basic average rush team. They seem to find traction with us, and they gain an extra 70 yards or whatever they had. If it's 80 yards like Washington, they come up with 200 yards. Team before that, they come up with 300 yards. We have to stop that. We have to take pride. We have to find passion to stop that rush game.
Yeah, only 25 points today. So on the scoreboard, it looks much better, but the offense just never got going either.
It's a loss.
It is absolutely a loss. But you only had one receiver that had multiple receptions. That was Amari Cooper. We hear from him next when we come back here on Cowboys Game Night.
This segment was brought to you by GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Amari Cooper, the only receiver on the Cowboys roster with multiple catches. Here's what he had to say following the 25-3 loss.
Mike McCarthy said that Thursday's practice was a really good practice. He liked the spirit, the energy you guys had, but he wants it to translate the Sundays. How come it's not translating from what you're seeing?
That's a very good question. First thing I can think of, the other team practices too. We don't know how that practice went. But I don't know. I want the same thing for our ball club, and I agree we did have a great practice on Thursday, and it needs to translate to the game. But one thing I know for certain, we're going to keep going out there, practicing good, and time will tell if it translates. Hopefully it does.
Amari, what's the level of surprise when you guys work on correcting these things all week and it doesn't pan out again?
I mean, obviously you want to practice good and you want it to translate to the field, and it's very disappointing when it doesn't. because we put our all into this. This is our craft. This is our livelihood, and it's just disappointing when it doesn't. As far as it being surprising, I would say it's pretty surprising too when it doesn't happen, because you don't go out there and practice and say and even think that it won't translate. So when it doesn't, it's a bit surprising.
Cowboys really shut down in terms of the passing game today. Amari Cooper, 80 yards on 7 receptions. No receptions for either Michael Gallup or CeeDee Lamb. When we come back, we'll put this one in the rearview mirror and get you set for Week 8 of the NFL season when we come back on Cowboys Game Night.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, Reliant, an NRG company, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Things do not go as planned for the Dallas Cowboys on the road in Andover, Maryland. 25-3 the final score against the Washington football team as we wrap things up here on Cowboys Game Night. Kyle Youmans and Nate Newton. And Nate, whenever you look ahead for the Cowboys, they've got Philadelphia on the road this week, another NFC East opponent. You've got a smirk on your face because it doesn't get much easier, and there's a lot of things to fix, but where do you start?
You just go back to the drawing board. And that's how it'll be every week until you start winning games back to back. You got to win your personal battle. Whatever your demons are that you need to work on during the week, win that battle. Go into the game, win one play, win another play, and let it snowball. Help your team within the scheme to do your thing. I mean, Philadelphia has the same problems. They're losing offensive linemen. Their wide receiver corps is tore up, but they keep battling. They keep playing. And that's what we have to do. The Coach McCarthy has to find a way to get with his position coaches and his coordinators and transfer that thing they're trying to put together to the field. From the coach to the coordinators to the position coaches to the players to the field. Somehow, somewhere, they got to find a way to transfer all of that to the field.
Well, and Andy Dalton, of course, going into concussion protocol this week following the hit that he took in the third quarter. So Beneducci is going to get the majority of the snaps, either him or Garrett Gilbert, in terms of the first-string offense. And this is an offense that needs to get it together. No Zach Martin this week. Hopefully he's back for the rivalry matchup. However, things are just going to have to get pieced together at the moment.
Yeah, you say pieces, then that's what it is. It's like we've been hit by a landmine. Somebody stepped on a landmine and just blew up everybody. But you know what? They're all professionals. They all got a job to do. And like I say, within that scheme, find out what you need to do, focus on it, and get it done.
If you're a coach here in this standpoint, Nate, where do you start in terms of addressing your team whenever they come to the office on Monday?
Well, first of all, I'll be looking at film tonight, but more so I'll be soul-searching myself as a coach to see what I can do to help these guys be better. And then, like I say, get it out to your coaches and then let them go in on Monday. So when you talk to these guys, you'll be fully focused and ready to go into another division game to win it. Not to survive, but to win it.
You mentioned Philadelphia. Of course, this going to be on the road. Not a ton of fans in attendance, but how important is it to get a win next week and to get back to 3-5?
If you want to win this division that's going to have 7 or 8 things, you got to win within the division. You've already lost to Washington. You got to win this Eagles game. I don't believe in must-win games because you only have 16 of them, and all of them is important. But this game you have to have. You cannot walk up out of that stadium, whatever it may be named, and for loss.
You can't do that, especially after this week, resulting in a disappointing one for the Dallas Cowboys. 25-3, they fall to Washington. They will play this upcoming week. Supposed to be on Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are also with just 2 wins on the season. For Nate Newton and the rest of our hardworking crew, I'm Kyle Youmans. That'll do it for Cowboys Game Night. We'll see you next week.